we start letting people in either.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you can
That's
record it
good.
15 minutes beforehand and it won't say
Here they all come. They're all note takers so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 note takers. That damn Mandy.
There's still people
sitting a little
behind them.
People behind. Carla Olive. When they Carla. 159. You want me to start admitting or?
Yep, admit them. Admit away.
All right, ready? You recording? Here we go.
Hi, everybody. Just getting everyone online. Might just take another minute. Thank you, their colour. Right on time. Let's wait 30 more seconds. Excellent. So welcome, everybody. This is a special edition webinar for the World Franchise Day that's coming up very soon. So we'll have a few of these webinars to help everybody give more understanding of the day and our involvement. But today we're going to hear from LJ Loch and Georgia Wood-Freeman. So over to you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Helen, for that. Welcome, and let's start with the good news. I think we're going to get through this in 15 to 20 minutes, know how busy you all are. So we're very focused on letting you know what you need to know and doing that in a really time-efficient way. For those of you who haven't met me, and I'm just looking at the list, I think I've met most of you, but I'm Head of Media and Advocacy at the FCA, and we've got Georgia with us as well as Lisa and Helen. Georgia, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Georgia. Similar to LJ, I don't think I've met most people, maybe met you at a lot of our events. I do all the digital marketing here at the Franchise Council Australia. So all the emails, posts you see on the website, updates, they're all me. So just putting a little name to the face kind of thing. So yeah.
Perfect. So the purpose of today is just to bring you up to speed with what World Franchise Day is, what we've got planned and how you can actually get involved and make the most of it. Importantly, this is an initiative that was actually started by the Franchise Association in Canada, in which the Global Council has picked up. So that's why it's sort of a very short lead into it this year, but we are looking at making this a regular occurrence each and every year. We will celebrate World Franchise Day on the 11th of June. It's really important from our advocacy that as part of telling the story and the value of franchising, both through the media in the communities that you all operate in and through the corridors of Parliament, that we're actually heroing the power of franchising and sharing the actual human stories that franchising supports and drives. And that's exactly why we're looking for your help on World Franchise Day. If you could just move to the next slide. So as I said, the first ever World Franchise Day is the 11th of June, which is coming up. You can see there what the objective of it is. What we're specifically looking at building within Australia is actually building momentum around increasing the awareness of franchising and how it actually supports so many different parts of the Australian economy and the Australian community through the incredible work that you all do, and also about raising awareness of the value and contribution that franchising and the franchising sector make within this community. So slide 3. So why you should get involved? It's helping us build the credibility and trust from a franchising perspective. It's ultimately about helping you get people excited about being part of a franchise and what that means in terms of working, everything from the career development through to the job stability, through to the opportunities that exist there. It's also about helping you stand out as a business within your sector and within your community by reinforcing the fact that franchising actually provides a backbone for what you do, and that you are actually able to do what you do so successfully as part of a franchise network because of the systems that are in place. And ultimately, it's also about building better community links for you, about helping you have stronger relationships within your community by making sure that people know who the faces are who operate within your business and feeling more of a connection with you. Most importantly, there's no cost involved. We're doing all of the work to help you take advantage of World Franchise Day, and we're looking to continue to build out the toolkit, the media support that we provide as we move forward. So while we've got a really short run up to World Franchise Day this year, we're looking, as I said, at this becoming an annual event moving forward, and we'll be able to build on and learn from the toolkit and the activities that we have this time round. So who are we targeting? And that's set out in slide 4. So we're looking at a two-pronged attack. In addition to communicating across the FCA communities, all of the stakeholders that we have at our fingertips, we also want to help build your profile in your communities by supporting you with local media opportunities, by supporting you with social media that you can use and domino across your social media networks, which we can then help amplify as well. Now, in doing that, it's very important, given that reputation is shaped by consistent and continual messaging, that the messaging that we all have is aligned. And slide 5 sets out what that messaging is. Now, obviously, this is going to become a bit more personal when you're using it in your context, and we'll provide the support for that in the toolkit as we build that out. But these are the key messages that we're using generally from an FCA perspective. First of all, that franchising is a valuable cornerstone of the Australian economy. Even at a political level, there's still a significant lack of appreciation of the significance of franchising and the contribution that we make. And that's why everything that we do from an advocacy perspective highlights that economic contribution, and just as importantly, highlights the workforce that we support, highlights the number of businesses that we support, whether they're small, medium or international businesses, and the footprint that we have, the fact that we operate across multiple sectors, we operate across metropolitan, regional and rural Australia. So from an advocacy perspective, what we want to reinforce is that regardless of whether you're a House of Reps or a state politician or a senator, you will have a franchise business doing something in your community that you need to know about. From an employment perspective, that's also really important. Also from a community service perspective, we know how much you all do to support your local communities, and we also want to help celebrate that. The second model is around the value of support that franchising delivers in terms of business ownership, in terms of entrepreneurship, and in terms of success. And then finally, it's about highlighting that very significant contribution that all of your businesses make at a local community level through employment, through the sponsorships, and through the economic development and stimulation that you provide. So how can you actually get involved? And that's on slide 6. The easiest way for you to get involved is through social media. And Georgia and Hayden from the FCA team have already put a bit of work into developing the toolkit. Just from a social media perspective, Georgia, what's the most important thing from a social media perspective that we can share with those attending today?
Really, one of the most important things really would be try and get your success stories out there, show how you're really supporting the franchising community, your own industry within franchising, really show and push just the great things you're doing through photos, videos, quotes. Just don't be afraid to share it. Just share it. If you don't know if you know, if you don't know if you should, just do it. Really just that's how you should really own your social media through this time with World Franchise Day coming up, because it really is just supporting one another. So it's really one thing you should really, really show your support, really. and push
Yeah,
through.
and also it's also about being real, right? One of the words that Georgia always uses is authenticity. It's about sharing the real you, sharing the stories that actually matter. And this is also part of a bigger objective that we've got at the FCA, which is capturing and heroing our franchise members, and we can only do that if we've got examples of the extraordinary things that you're doing. So whether it's about, you know, an employee who's been with you for a really long time, whether it's about sponsoring the local footy team, whether it's about meeting a massive business milestone, whether it's just about being, you know, a part of a community and helping someone out, any of those stories that you can share, ideally with a picture, and some of the examples, and we're mapping out in the toolkit the frameworks to help you do that. It will help us not just with World Franchise Day and extending the reach, because we can then domino and amplify each of your posts, but it's also about building out the toolkit that we need for advocacy moving forward. Now, hashtags. A lot of people wonder about the use of hashtags. Can you have too many hashtags, Georgia?
No, simple as that. No.
Hashtag away.
Hashtag away, yeah.
The one hashtag we really do need you to use is hashtag World Franchise Day. The other hashtag we want to build out just from a wider advocacy perspective is hashtag Franchise Hero. Now, LinkedIn is our primary focus from a corporate perspective and from a political perspective, but that doesn't mean that the other social media channels should be ignored. We also want you to use whatever social media channels you're on and let us know which channels that you're on so that the FCA can also get in there and promote it. And one of the other things that the International Association is looking to do is for members of the various organisations around the world to host a local event or a promotion. Now, the lead-in time was actually, we think, way too short for any of us to be able to do that this time round. So our focus this time round is on harnessing the power of media and the power of social media to do this. But if you wanted to put something up in your window, if you wanted to put tiles on your website, we are including graphics of those in the toolkit, which will be available on the website and will be built out as we move closer and closer to World Franchise Day. Now, if we go into the next slide, which is slide 7, how do we know if this is going to be successful? Well, our internal measure is how many of you actually access the toolkit. And we're trying to make it as enticing as possible and as easy as possible for you to make the most of World Franchise Day. So as mentioned, in addition to the pre-written social media posts and the templates, we're also looking at providing you with email and media release templates. We will also be doing, where we get hero stories, we will be looking to engage with local media to promote those case studies. So there's another incentive there for you to share those case studies with us, particularly if you wanted to do that ahead of World Franchise Day. We can build out those local media releases in partnership with you to go out on World Franchise Day to local media. My email address will be at the end of this PowerPoint, and we will share the deck with everyone after the webinar. So first of all, get involved, download the information that's there, use the information. If you've got any additional ideas that we can support you with, let us know and we'll do whatever we can. What we're aiming for is for increased recognition and awareness of what franchising is, what we do, how we do it, and why it matters. We're looking at community, media, and political engagement, and we're also obviously going to be engaging directly with political decision makers, not just federally, but also across the states and territories, to make sure that they're aware of, one, the importance of World Franchise Day and what we're celebrating, but two, ideally sharing with them some of our franchise heroes in their communities who they can also acknowledge and celebrate in what they do. Now, we're actually powering through this, which is exactly what I want because we know how busy you are. So if you move on to slide 7, if we move on to slide 8, yep. So just in summary, and we'll come to questions shortly, just in case anyone's got them. But as of today, if you want to make the most of World Franchise Day, here are the simple things that you need to do. Download the toolkit, have a think about what you're capable of doing, what you are likely to do. Most of you are already quite active on social media, and that's a really easy opportunity for you. Think about getting involved in our local media activation, and for that to happen, we need you to share case studies with us of the types of things, you know, whether it's quotes as to why you love being a part of the franchise ecosystem, or whether it's a quote around what franchising means for you and your business, all the way through to if you're celebrating a key milestone, or if you support something that matters in your local community. They're all things we can weave into the local media activation as well as the sector activation. So we're looking at doing trade media across each of the sectors that our members are represented in, as well as obviously franchise trade media. Let everyone who works for you know that the 11th of June is actually World Franchise Day. And then last but not least, share your story with us so that we can, you know, use the hashtags, hashtag World Franchise Day, hashtag Franchise Hero, so that we can increase your visibility and impact. And excuse me, I'm just going to cough. Hang on.
Poor thing.
Excuse me. It's going around. Now, does anyone have any questions or observations or feedback that you'd like to share? I can't see the chat. Let me have a look at the chat.
You're all good, LJ.
Oh, good. Well, as promised, we are in and out in 15 minutes. We will follow up with sort of sharing the deck, sharing the link to the toolkit, and make sure that if you have any ideas, you have the case studies, share them with me on my email, which is ljloch@franchise.org.au. We'll include that in the document as well. And last but not least, thank you for everything that you do for franchising. Let us help you through joining World Franchise Day.
Good job.
Thank you very much, LJ and Georgia.
Well done.
Hashtag
Thanks,
World
LJ
Franchise
and
Day.
everybody. This is great. This is a really good initiative. Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks,
fantastic.
Peter.
Anyone else got any feedback? Because we'd love to hear from you. It's not like you guys to be silent.
No.
No.
All right, onwards and upwards. We'll be doing these webinars on a regular basis as we build out the toolkit. So see you at the next one.
Yes.
See you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Guys.